great selection, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning, Lake Norman. This is Cornelius, Mayor Woody Washam, and welcome to About Town. It's going to be a great show today, and I'm sure you're going to learn something about some of the great things going on in the town of Cornelius. One of the greatest is, our cultural scene has come a long way in the town of Cornelius over the last few years, and I'd like to take a little credit for that, but I really don't know how to do that. We've just had some great organizations that have come about and are doing great work in our community, and I'm really proud of that. As a would-be musician myself, I think this is something we can really be proud of in our region. And, moving forward today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite organizations as it relates to music, and that is the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. And yes, I did say orchestras. This is a program that is headquartered in our town, serving our entire region and doing great things for kids and training kids. And, when I came up as a musician, as a young boy, it was hard to find lessons and training and all the good things that you had to do to become a trained musician. And that was a search. But today, it's not easy, but it's easier. And thanks to the great work of the Cornelius Youth Orchestras and their executive director, Eric Boruff, who is doing a great job in building some excitement and enthusiasm and serving our kids in such a great way. So, Eric, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Mayor Washam.
It's great to have you back, man.
It is so great to be here. And I will speak to what you just said earlier. It is wonderful to have such an advocate as a leader of our town for the arts in our community. And I have to just credit and commend you for all of the work that you've done with the arts scene here. I know that our youth orchestra and our kids in the community have greatly benefited from that. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks. We got it. Wow, listen to the crowd. I'm telling you. Thanks, everybody. I'm proud of that. I really am proud of that. And we have come so far in not much time, really.
Yeah.
But you guys are at the heart of it, because if we don't actually train our kids to come up in that environment, where is our music culture going to go into the future? So
exactly.
That's what I'm the most proud of. There are opportunities for our kids to be trained in all sorts of musical ventures here in our town, for performance, for one-on-one training. So tell us how this works, Eric. You and I have talked quite a bit about it, and I just want you to tell our audience how this sort of works, how it came about. Let's start with the beginning. Cornelius Youth Orchestra has actually been around a while, right?
It has been a little around for since 2006. So if I'm doing my math correctly, about 18 years. And we're coming up on that 20-year mark pretty soon here, and that'll be exciting. We've been serving the youth in our community for that duration of time, but in the last 4 years, coming out of COVID, that's really where we've just kind of taken our mission of service to a greater scale and scope in our community. And it's been really great to see the response from our students and from the families. As far as how it works, our goal is to take whatever students are interested in learning a musical instrument and give them every step and path, a direct pathway of advancement of what they'll need to learn a musical instrument, and then to do so in an orchestral setting. It is fantastic, as you know, to play a musical instrument. It is so wonderful, and there's a challenge there, and it's enjoyable, and it's wonderful in so many ways. But then to learn to do so with other musicians and play with your peers and your friends, there's just nothing like it. The community and the social aspect of music is just unparalleled, and it's been so great to provide that for our kids, especially coming out of a time where there's so much isolation, especially for our youth. And so to provide something that's so opposite of what their normal experience is. It's just great to see the kids' faces light up when they have that opportunity. And I have to give credit to Andrew here when just that, our shift in our mission coming out of COVID in large part is and by Andrew's vision and when he joined the team back in 2021. So we're excited about that.
Awesome. And Eric is referring to our other special guest, who is Andrew Fierova.
Yes, sir.
Did I say it right, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good deal. And he is actually the brass programs coordinator for the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. And tell us a little bit about how long have you been with the youth orchestras here?
About 2.5 years.
That's awesome. And tell us about some of the programs that you have brought to the organization.
Yeah, so my job as the brass programs coordinator is basically where the rubber meets the road in developing how the Cornelius Youth Orchestra is going to implement these missions that Eric just described. So one of the ways in which we do that is through our ensembles. Another way in which we do it is through our challenge programs. So the challenge programs are all about education. And we take raw beginners, sometimes people that only played for maybe a year or two, and we put them in the same room as the best musicians that we can find. And so the vast majority of the teachers that I've brought on over the years that Eric has entrusted me to bring on have been Charlotte Symphony members or people that play with the Charlotte Symphony, professional musicians that do this day in and day out. So your children get to learn from the best of the best that we have access to. The other way in which we do it is through our ensembles. That is the primary goal. The teamwork and the leadership that you learn being part of a musical team is a huge part of a musician's development. So we have like instrument family ensembles, such as the brass ensemble. We have a woodwind ensemble. We have strings-only ensembles. And then, of course, we have the orchestras. And this is really the ultimate of what we're working towards, to build that independence of skill and knowledge so that you can learn to work with others.
That's just awesome. And, there's all sorts of peripheral effects of being part of a group like this. I mean, to me, it's part of developing the whole person, the whole character. And that's what it's all about. You guys work hard in having folks understand some things about civic responsibility too, don't you?
We do. So this is, I have to credit our volunteer administrative team in sharing this vision for our students, and that we believe in nurturing the entirety of the student, not just simply the musical skill set and the musician, because they're not inseparable. We want to provide all of these opportunities for the kids to do more beyond just the classroom opportunities. And so one of the things that we do is we try to encourage our kids to give back in the community. And so we have a variety of opportunities to work with different community nonprofits like Angels and Sparrows, also several others. That we have some drives where we'll raise money, or we'll also, collect some food drive or things like that. At Valentine's Day, we'll have the kids write Valentines to all the people there. And so it's a great opportunity for the kids to also give back in addition to the wonderful music education that they receive.
Oh, that is just awesome and such a major component. We're talking today about the Cornelius Youth Orchestras, and there's a lot more to come. You're going to learn a lot more about this great organization.
More About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Another pleasant day around Lake Norman. Morning clouds giving way to more sunshine as we work our way through the afternoon. Still comfy, too, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. We'll stay comfy tonight with partly cloudy sky, dipping back down to around 60. Outlying spots and farms to dip into the upper 50s on Friday morning. We'll see increasing clouds for our Friday, mainly dry. Just the low chance of a passing shower late Friday night into the first part of our Saturday. Most of our weekend, though, should be dry. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The app with Lake Norman deals. The WSIC app is out now, wherever you get your apps.
Here is
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Lake Norman in Mooresville presents Alex Key in concert on Thursday, September 5th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the music powered by Waves Entertainment starting at 7. Don't miss the music of country singer, Nashville recording, and top 40 charting artist Alex Key this Thursday at Langtree Lake Norman. The Iredell County Fair runs every day this week at the fairgrounds in Troutman. The 88th annual event, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club, features some of the best entertainment in the area, including go-kart racing, carnival rides for all ages, competitive 4-H exhibits and animal shows, the magic of Lance Gifford, and much more. The fair runs daily through Saturday. Gates and rides open weekdays at 5 p.m. and on weekends at 3 p.m. Tickets are $5, while kids 6 and under are free. Carnival ride tickets and wristbands are available at the ticket box. Enjoy the Iredell County Fair every day this week at the fairgrounds in Troutman. The Downtown Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks takes place on Saturday. The event offers over 15 trucks from around the area and features live music by John Sullivan and Ryan Winters. Bring a chair, bring your friends, stroll, shop, and enjoy gourmet fare in the social district. Food trucks will be located on Main Street and Broad Street on Saturday from 5 p.m. to 8:30. See you downtown for the Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks. On Saturday, see the top riders from the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship as they compete on a custom-built course at ZMAX Dragway. The Super Motocross Fan Fest is a pre-race event taking place from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. where you can see the teams practice, prepare, and qualify for the playoff round and is included with your event ticket. Don't miss the biggest Super Motocross race of the year. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today. Crosswhite Law in Statesville cares. Here to serve you and your family's needs in elder law, estate planning, and estate administration. Call Crosswhite Law today, 704-873-7233.
Now, more about town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and we are about town today with the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. It's going to be a great rest of the show, and I hope you'll hang with us here and learn a little bit more about what makes this organization tick. And it's pretty incredible. The background of these instructors and musicians that are part of the Cornelius Youth Orchestras has a pretty incredible story. And we have one of those guys here with us today, the head of their brass programs, the coordinator of that. Andrew, tell us a little bit about what your musical journey has been. What brought you to this point to do what you're doing for the kids today and professionally?
Absolutely. So the best way to understand my story and how it coordinates with what the Cornelius Youth Orchestra is doing is actually to tell that story in reverse, because my life now is nothing like where I began. And what I do now is I teach at Davidson College. I have about 10 private students at my house. I run a podcast for the betterment of music education for horn players. I play in the Charlotte Symphony. It's a full life, a wonderful life. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old at home. But none of that could have happened if I hadn't won a job with the Charlotte Symphony, which is a tedious process, and it was something I worked my whole life to accomplish. Before that, what made that possible was attending the Juilliard School in New York City.
Wow.
Phenomenal
awesome.
2 years there. Got to tour the world, Hong Kong, Vienna, London, China. Amazing opportunities. Those 2 years were pivotal in my formation as a musician and who I became as an educator. But that was my master's. And before that, I was at my local state college. I'm originally from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I was at the University of South Carolina for 4 years. Had a phenomenal teacher there, Bob Prusen, who taught me so much. The support network there is amazing. I felt at home in Columbia, South Carolina. But before that, I was at public high school, Dorman High School in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Played in the marching band, played in horn in the wind ensemble. I played trumpet in the jazz band. And before that was middle school, 6th grade, afraid. going into the band room for the first time, not knowing, what instrument am I going to play. And for those that don't know, you do mouthpiece testing to decide what instrument, you belong on.
I had
wanted
no
to play.
idea.
Yeah. I wanted to play trumpet, and the mouthpiece for the French horn just kind of spoke to me, had one of those magical Harry Potter moments,
Wow.
where they hand Ollivander hands Harry the wand, and, the air starts, swirling and the light comes down from above. It's kind of what it feels like. So truly meant to be. So the reason that I tell that story in reverse is just the beauty of imagining your own children coming into the Cornelius Youth Orchestra for the very first time, 8, 9, 10 years old, not knowing, what lays ahead of them. And I certainly didn't know when I started in 6th grade, but I had the most amazing teachers that supported me through that journey that made what I've accomplished possible. So to tie it all back in, the reason that I'm so dedicated to the Cornelius Youth Orchestra and the education that I do is in service to those who gave so much to me.
Wow, that's quite a story, and one I can certainly relate to as well. So my journey was a lot different than that. Fortunately, my parents had the means to provide lessons along the way. I started my piano lessons at Cornelius Elementary with a little old lady who was about 90 years old at the time. I think my lessons cost $1.50 a piece.
Wow.
And dating myself, right? And but from that, my interest grew, and I could play by ear a little bit, and that was good and bad. That's probably you as musicians probably know that because you tend to make stuff up. Just saying, you really do. But then move from that point on into musical training at Davidson College as a kid, and certainly working through high school as an accompanist was awesome for me. And I did not major in music, though. My mother wouldn't let me. She told me that, she said, you can take lessons in college, but you need to major in business because you can't make any money in music. So, but that was my passion. It really was, and I can sure tell it's yours too. So along the way, I guess some of us had some regrets along the way, and I wish I had been more serious about my background and training because. I had enough talent. I didn't have to practice. I could go to my lessons and just do it. And that's dangerous.
Yeah,
right?
It only lasts so long.
Yeah, because there's always going to be a piece that you have to work on. And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's a big part of what we're trying to provide for the kids is, there's always the next step in front of them. So I like to have the mantra that I want all of my students to be challenged but not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, but always challenged. There's a certain motivational component to that, and for me, it's one of the things that drew me to music. I will say it was like this never-ending puzzle. As soon as you accomplish one thing, you're just like, oh, okay, now there's this next thing I need to work on, and I loved that component of it, and I look back at it and I think maybe that's one of the things that really drew me to it, but. What we're trying to do what we are doing with our programming is to provide that for kids and make that available from the very ground level. It's funny you mentioned Cornelius Elementary because we actually were just there as a part of our Musical Pathways initiative.
That's great.
And we got to do a big presentation as far as for the students there. And for those that are not familiar, that's at the very, very foundational level. Our team of musicians and our faculty go into the schools and there's a general assembly. We'll bring all the kids together. Most of the time it's in the gym or in auditorium or something like that. And we get to present the instruments to them. And for most of them, it's the first time. Most of these kids, their environment a lot of time in the day and age we live in is in front of a screen and interacting with the world in that way a lot. But to provide a real life experience with all these noise making machines, it's so incredible to see the response. And I also have to give and just brag on our team a little bit because they are absolute showmen and show people. There's nothing like watching Tom Burge present to 400 elementary schoolers and dance and play the trombone at the same time. It's amazing. But we have the best time, and the kids eat it up, and we get to show them all the different kinds of instruments and the sounds that they make, and then we get to perform for them a little bit too, so they can kind of see like this is what a professional does on the instrument as well. So a part of that, as we reach out into the community, is to just provide that access to kids at the very ground level. Like, hey, this is what this is, and it's fun, and you can do it too. Everybody can play an instrument, and they should. And so we're trying to make that accessible to everybody. And that's another thing I'm really excited about this semester too, is that we have more students on scholarship than we've ever had before. We're students and families are taking advantage of our mission of not turning any students away and providing that to every student. A music education is something that they should have the opportunity to have if they would like to pursue one. And we're a little biased, but we think everybody should pursue that.
Well, I do too. And that is just an awesome goal you have and an awesome service you provide to this community. And that just adds to the great quality of life that people have that live here in the first place. I think that is so important for organizations to have that kind of endowment to support students of need, if you will.
That's right.
And to not turn a kid away is just critically important. That was important to me as we were developing the Kane Center for the Arts. And their endowment for that purpose has grown and grown and grown, thankfully, to fit this same mold. So we're doing a lot of great things. There's no excuse for some kid that wants to explore the arts to not be able to. That is an awesome element of the basics of our community. I think that's critically important. So thank you for doing that. But it takes a little bit of money to make sure you can back that up, because as I tell my town board from time to time, this stuff ain't free.
It is not.
And you do have to have the resources to do it. And there's opportunities for everyone listening to this show today to support the arts in our community. And you hearing how important that is. I just had an opportunity. I just had a birthday, Eric. I don't know if you remember that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I always every year pick an organization that I feel like is doing good work in our community and identify them for contributions as part of my birthday celebration. And this year, my organization of choice was the Cornelius Youth Orchestras.
Thank you.
I did pretty good for you, I think.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was incredible. It was like 5 times your original goal or something.
It was.
Like that.
I had to change my goal, and then my birthday hit, and I didn't want to, gouge people anymore. But
you can leave that job to me.
Well, I know exactly, but it turned out great. So that was an easy way to do it.
Thank you for your support.
It really didn't cost me anything other than my own small donation, but
thank you.
It's a kind of thing that has hopefully done a little bit of good, and everybody has this opportunity to contribute and do that very same thing. It's not hard to do.
No.
So how do people contribute very quickly here before we go to the break?
That's right. I'd love to talk a little bit more about this when we come back.
We will.
People can visit our website, CorneliusYouthOrchestras.com, and the Support Us page. But there's more than one way that we need support. We need financial support. We absolutely do. We make this opportunity available to kids, a lot of them for free if they need. And that does take financial support. As you mentioned, it's not free. But also, we need volunteers. We need extra hands that can help us bring this opportunity to the kids, whether it's a rehearsal attendant, someone just to make sure that the kids are in the right spot and going in the right direction.
We're going to talk more about this.
That's right.
I'm telling you, we need to dig deep into our community's coffers and support this organization. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we will be right back.
There's more About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Another pleasant day around Lake Norman. Morning clouds giving way to more sunshine as we work our way through the afternoon. Still comfy, too, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. We'll stay comfy tonight with a partly cloudy sky, dipping back down to around 60. Outlying spots and farms can dip into the upper 50s on Friday. morning. We'll see increasing clouds for our Friday, mainly dry, just a low chance of a passing shower late Friday night into the first part of our Saturday. Most of our weekend, though, should be dry. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
We're at Black Automotive, and there are trucks everywhere. GMC Sierra 1500 trucks are up to $8,500 off now at Black Automotive, and over 40 pre-owned vehicles out of the vast inventory under $20,000. Black Automotive, Statesville.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Looking for a large private room for your next work function? Or maybe you need a place to bring the whole family for a delicious meal? Pomodoros of Mooresville has the perfect space for your crowd. Book your next event at Pomodoros.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Unemployment lines got a little shorter last week as new applications for jobless benefits slipped by 5,000 to a smaller than forecast 227,000 last week as layoffs remain relatively low despite other signs of labor market cooling. Tomorrow, we get the government's take on August employment. This morning brings something of a preview as the private sector added only 99,000 jobs to payrolls. That's according to paycheck company ADP, with the numbers falling short of the consensus forecast in a Bloomberg survey of economists and coming in below the prior month's downwardly revised figure. JetBlue Airways revenue got a boost from improved bookings and strength in Latin America, among other factors. The company walking away a winner from that big July tech outage that affected so many of its rivals as it benefited from rebooking passengers from airlines whose flights were disrupted. That has JetBlue raising its sales forecast for the current quarter. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
We are back with more of About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and we're with the special guest from the Cornelius Youth Orchestra. And welcome back, guys. Eric and Andrew, we appreciate your time today to tell us about this great organization and the great work you're doing in our community. And we were just talking about the fact that, you know, the hard part about any great things that go on here or anywhere else is it kind of comes down to money sometimes. And we were talking about how our folks could contribute to the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. And Eric, give us that website again.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
To make sure.
You know, I'm gonna just talk a little bit if that's okay.
Yeah, I hope you will. Bring it on, sir.
I tried to squeeze it in that 60 seconds really before the break.
You're really shy. I can tell, but great. Bring it on.
Well, okay, so let's just dive right in. We do amazing things with the Cornelius Youth Orchestras, but it takes a team of amazing people, and we are so fortunate to have that. I just think it's just wonderful. All of the people on our team, there's no such thing as a weak link with us, and they're just amazing people, but we're looking for more help. And so we're looking for more amazing people. And one of the things that's impressed me about the Lake Norman area is they just seem to be everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're just all these people you meet doing amazing things in the community. And so if you're looking for a way that you can give back and make a difference, a lifetime of a difference for so many kids and future community members and civic-minded people, this is a way that you can do it and really make an outsized impact by helping out with the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. Now, there's a variety of ways that you can do that. I mentioned previously, of course, we need financial support. It makes everything go around. And there's program costs. There's, venue rentals for whenever we have concerts, and there's, facility rentals for our actually hosting our classes, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I could bore everyone to death with that, but it takes some support. And so we are so appreciative that we have a community of supporters that have made it possible what we've done so far. But as we try to grow our scope and the scale of what we do, that also means we need more supporters, and we are so happy to be welcoming more people to that team. So if you are interested in financial support for the Cornelius Youth Orchestras, and chipping in $5, $10, it doesn't take, you don't have to, have a boat on the lake in order to be a supporter of the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. Just a few little dollars here and there would make a big difference, and we appreciate every little bit. You can visit our website, corneliusyouthorchestras.com/support. Or if you just go to our website, you can click the support button, and you can see the different ways that we have support, or we accept support from our community there as far as the financial component is. But we also need the volunteer support. I was mentioning just a little bit, we just need extra hands to make everything happen. I mentioned the idea of a rehearsal attendant, someone just to make sure the kids are going in the right room, and, have everything they need, and that they're safe, and that we're taking care of them in that regard. At concerts, making sure all of those, the venue facilities and all of those needs are met. And then we go out in the community a ton. We get to do all these little, in addition to our concert series, which I hope all of our listeners will come to, we also do free community concerts, and we get our kids out in the community to perform for different community collections of people. And so there's been several different pockets in the community. A lot of times we'll go to a subdivision, or we'll play at different senior facilities as well, and we'll perform for them. And other areas, we're looking forward to some great performances at Christmas and Davidson and things like that. And as we go and do those things, we like to share information about who we are and what we do. And again, we just need the volunteer support to help make that happen. And the last way is the easiest way. And I think every single person listening to this can do this. Come to a concert.
Absolutely.
You will enjoy seeing what our kids do on stage and what we work with them and train them to do. They are fantastic. You will not regret it. It's just wonderful seeing these kids, especially if you get to come to a few, grow throughout the course of a season, from their first performance of the year where they're getting their legs underneath them still, and then by the end of the season, you can just tell they're comfortable on stage, and you close your eyes and you forget you're listening to kids sometimes. It's pretty incredible.
Wow. And I remember this past season, you packed the chancel over at Mount Zion Church.
Yes,
and,
we did. A couple times.
And it was an incredible evening for everybody. And there were a lot of folks that were quite surprised at the quality of that performance. Absolutely.
That was really special evening.
It was.
I had a great time with that, to take such a historic church like that and to be able to perform at Mount Zion. And it was a packed crowd too.
It was. It was a great event. Very great event. But a thing I think our audience needs to hear is, I think I'm saying this right, Eric, and that is, you really don't have to be a musician to volunteer.
That's correct.
Is that a correct statement?
That is correct. Yes. If you are a musician, you're more than welcome to help us as well. But we need help with just about everything.
Exactly.
So if you're, I met somebody just the other day who said, you know what, I'm an accountant. And I work with my firm that specializes in getting nonprofit organizations technology grants. Mm-hmm. So the software, our database, we pay a substantial amount of money just to simply have a database that works and stores all the information. But that kind of help, that person's not a musician, but they said, hey, on Fridays I can chip in. That kind of help, if that's you, that's what we need. And you can visit our website, corneliusyouthorchestras.com. There's a volunteer button right there. And if you want to just fill out that form and let us know you're willing to pitch in and help out, man, we would welcome you to our team. That would be wonderful.
Awesome. That's totally exciting and great opportunities. I get that question a lot from citizens who want to give back here in our community. We've got such a great community here.
Yes.
And we talk about quality of life and the Cornelius way and all these wonderful things that are attributable to our wonderful citizens here. You know, it's not just about giving money. It's about showing up. All the types of things that you've just discussed. Kane Center's another example. They have an army of people that serve as ushers over there.
Yep.
And it all started when they opened, not even 2 years ago, with getting folks that some are retired, some are not, some are just, interested in the cause and want to give back in that way. And, it's just built an army for them. And it can for every organization in this town. It's just, just important to give back. And I think our citizens are of that mindset, which is wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. So here we go down the road with our students. Tell us some success stories that you could share with the group related to some of the great events that have happened to some of your students and our kids.
I would love to share some, but can I put Andrew on the spot
You
here?
can,
Because
Andrew.
there are several that I know of his students in particular, but I want to give him the opportunity to talk about. But I was thinking about Foster. I was thinking there's several other names, but I'll let Andrew run with this. But it's the endless list.
Yeah, I think I got time here to talk about two of them. I'll start with one of our oldest. His name is Alex Michael Files. We actually have a joke about how many names we call him sometimes because we get people in our classes that have the same name. So he's one of ours, one of our challenge ones in terms of names. But when he started, I discovered very quickly this gentleman had a huge love of music and just needed the right path and the right help. And he was participating in brass ensemble. The Cornelius Youth Orchestras helped him out with an instrument as well. I started teaching him private lessons. At one point, he was considering going into the military. That was his official path forward. And I spoke with him. I spoke with his family, trying to figure out what is the best possible thing for him to do with this love of music. And in the end, he decided that he wanted to be a musician. And I think he's truly going to make it. And he just started his freshman year at Winthrop College with Dr. Nick Fife, who's a very close friend of mine that I was at USC with, as a performance major, already principal horn in their wind ensemble, and is thriving and doing amazing things. I'm so proud of him.
Awesome.
Foster is another example of someone that I've seen come into his own as a result of coming into our challenge programs. He had not played the horn at all, so he went through a semester of just education in terms of getting things moving in the right direction, getting set up, posture, stuff like this. Is currently in our junior brass and even learned a little bit of conducting. He actually conducted the junior brass for one of our Christmas concerts, I think this past Christmas.
It was amazing. He was up there with the Santa hat and he was conducting his fellow students. It was the best.
Wow. Daniel Pecoraro is another one. Just an incredible young man who was quite shy. Hopefully, if he's listening or, his parents are listening, they won't mind me saying, but was quite reserved, quite shy. You fast forward just a couple years and he's playing a solo up on stage in front of 500 people. He's stashed a hat underneath his chair, threw on the hat, stood up, played this awesome jazzy solo. And his father had come to me not that long after I started working with his son in our brass ensemble, just saying, "I've seen such a change in Daniel," and he was so appreciative of what he's witnessed. And as a father, to me, it's like there is no greater compliment. It's
awesome.
That's why I'm here. This is what I'm here to do.
Yeah, that was your purpose. And music is really transformational. It speaks to people like nothing else. Whether you're in a religious church environment or at a great symphony concert or with these kids.
Yeah.
It's an incredible message it provides, and you just can't hardly describe that. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we'll be right back.
More About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, another pleasant day around Lake Norman. Morning clouds giving way to more sunshine as we work our way through the afternoon. Still comfy, too, with high temperatures in the upper 70s. We'll stay comfy tonight with partly cloudy sky, dipping back down to around 60. Outlying spots and parts could dip into the upper 50s. Friday morning, we'll see increasing clouds for our Friday. Mainly dry, just a low chance of a passing shower late Friday night into the first part of our Saturday. Most of our weekend, though, should be dry. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Lake Norman in Mooresville presents Alex Key in concert on Thursday, September 5th. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the music powered by Waves Entertainment starting at 7. Don't miss the music of country singer, Nashville recording, and top 40 charting artist Alex Key this Thursday at Langtree Lake Norman. The Iredell County Fair runs every day this week at the fairgrounds in Troutman. The 88th annual event, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club, features some of the best entertainment in the area, including go-kart racing, carnival rides for all ages, competitive 4-H exhibits and animal shows, the magic of Lance Gifford, and much more. The fair runs daily through Saturday. Gates and rides open weekdays at 5 p.m. and on weekends at 3 p.m. Tickets are $5, while kids 6 and under are free. Carnival ride tickets and wristbands are available at the ticket box. Enjoy the Iredell County Fair every day this week at the fairgrounds in Troutman. The Downtown Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks takes place on Saturday. The event offers over 15 trucks from around the area and features live music by John Sullivan and Ryan Winters. Bring a chair, bring your friends, stroll, shop, and enjoy gourmet fare in the social district. Food trucks will be located on Main Street and Broad Street on Saturday from 5 p.m. to 8:30. See you downtown for the Mooresville Festival of Food Trucks. On Saturday, see the top riders from the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship as they compete on a custom-built course at ZMAX Dragway. The Super Motocross Fan Fest is a pre-race event taking place from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. where you can see the teams practice, prepare, and qualify for the playoff round and is included with your event ticket. Don't miss the biggest Super Motocross race of the year. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com or the CMS app for information and details. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
About Town continues now. Here's your host, Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here for our last segment of a great program today. One of my favorite organizations in our entire region, the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. And Eric and Andrew, what stories you've had to tell? Maybe I appreciate them more than most because I've lived some of this myself. But man, what great work you guys do, and thank you for what all you bring to our community to enhance our quality of life. So it's totally awesome. Anybody out in our audience today, if you have a particular question for these guys, call us at 1-844-STUDIO-4, 1-844-STUDIO-4, and we'll be happy to take your question and clear up anything that may be on your mind. So feel free to give us a buzz. So here we go down the road. Tell us about how your enrollment has moved forward with the Cornelius Youth Orchestras. I think you're headed toward an exciting year, right?
Oh my! It has just been nothing but exciting. Just hanging on with the amount of growth that we've had. It's been incredible. We've officially crossed the threshold of 200 students enrolled in the program, which is awesome. And our models of how we're putting our metrics together as we pursue growth in the future really just show that we have not saturated the market here in Lake Norman. There's such a massive need for what we're doing and what we're providing. And so we're excited to see that number continue to grow. But we have started, I believe, 3 or 4 new different programs this fall, and we're excited to have them growing and going and getting off the ground. Our first rehearsal was this past Tuesday for our orchestra, and then our first series of educational classes, their first day starts on Monday. One of them is our percussion class. That's a new thing that we're offering this year, and just getting kids the opportunity to learn orchestral percussion. It's such a fascinating thing. You go and you hear a performance of a symphony orchestra live, and then you try to purposely identify the percussion and the difference it makes in the sound. It just brings it to life. It's like this atmospheric shimmer that the music otherwise would be lacking. And whether it's xylophone, marimba, timpani, I've always wanted to play a bass drum or crash cymbals. I someday when I grow up, I want that to be me.
Wow.
I might join the class, actually. I don't know. We'll see. But all that to say, these kids now, as young at the age of 5, have the opportunity to start learning these instruments from Stephanie Wilson, who plays with the Charlotte Symphony and several other symphonies in the area as well. And that story is across the board, but we're excited about our enrollment and the growth that we've seen. And we actually are still taking, for those who are interested and maybe are looking at school schedules and have some openings in particular on Monday for our beginning classes. If people are interested, we're still taking new students. And so we haven't even officially started yet. So it's not late. So if you want to visit our website, take a look at our programs. If you have no experience with an instrument, come see us. Your kid will never be the same.
Oh, awesome offer. Goodness, you got to take them up on that, folks. You really do. So geographically, you serve students throughout the Lake Norman region, don't you?
Yes, over 6 different counties. And I believe that's growing. I need to double check our database here. But yes, over 6 different counties in the Lake Norman region. And so we're growing our scope and how the community that we serve. And, I think it speaks to the need. A lot of times in situations like this, you can look at it as like, oh man, nothing's around. This opportunity isn't here. But the way we look at it is like, hey, we get to be the ones that do this and provide this for the kids. And the fact that they're driving all the way from the other side of Gastonia, I had a student who, because of school schedules, wasn't able to join, but they were going to come from the other side of Winston-Salem all the way to here to Cornelius.
Wow.
And last minute they said, I'm taking a couple AP classes. I don't think I can make the homework work and the drive. But it just goes to show there's a need and there's an opportunity here, and it's special. This is something. And if you're right here in Cornelius, or you're in Huntersville or Davidson, and this is in your backyard, take advantage of this. This is a really great opportunity for your students to have great access to music education, and really an unparalleled opportunity in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, it's quite a story to tell. Does this go on other places?
There are a couple other organizations that, have kind of a similar vision in varying parts of the country. But as far as I'm aware, I think we're the only one in this specific region that pursues our mission and executes it in the way that we do it. We have great partners in the community that we share students with. The Charlotte Symphony has a youth orchestra. There's also a separate independent group, the Youth Orchestras of Charlotte, and we work together with them. We were so honored to put together that summer festival with them and partner with them. And so it's great to have them in the community, and we have great relationships there. But we have just a strong emphasis on beginning music education and getting students that pathway of advancement, just giving them the next step so that they can become that person on stage, just like an Andrew Fierova. Whether it's your first day in 6th grade and you're trying out a mouthpiece and you're like, I don't know how to do this. This is scary. And then fast forward 20 years and you're performing on stage with the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra or around the world as a Juilliard student. That can be you. That can be you.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it just because of my experience around the country. Outside of a pre-college program, what we're doing here with the Cornelius Youth Orchestra, to my knowledge, does not really exist. This is extremely special, extremely unique. I wish I could have had this when I was younger. And I was well supported. It's not like I wasn't, but man, this is something special.
Yeah, you become such a integral part of a great group that gives you encouragement. And that's just awesome. That's what makes the circle complete. I think.
And the kids respond to it. And we all have a need for that sense of community and to be part of something bigger than ourselves. and kids need that too.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's playing a sport, I grew up on both sides of the fence as far as that's concerned. I grew up as a musician studying music, but I also played ice hockey. Part of my front teeth are fake, the whole 9 yards. I'm fully in both camps. But all that to say, there is that component to who we are as people, and just childhood development as well. And we're excited to provide that for the kids in the musical space, and it's really great to see the impact that it's making on their lives. And we look forward, and we always have open arms to new students and new families who are interested in joining us. So if you're interested, check us out, CorneliusYouthOrchestras.com. But the first step that I would say for anybody is just come to a concert. Our first concert this year, I'm calling this the season of the college for our upper orchestra, because we're doing collaborative educational experiences and concerts with UNC Charlotte and then Davidson College as well.
It's awesome.
So October 1st, our orchestra is performing on stage with the UNC Charlotte University Orchestra at UNC Charlotte. The students are going to have an educational day where they get to tour the campus and work with their faculty at UNC Charlotte and get to experience their music facilities. And we're providing that opportunity in partnership with the music department there at UNC Charlotte. They get that at no extra cost. That's just a part of being a Cornelius Youth Orchestra's member. And then we're going to be doing something basically very similar in the second semester with Davidson College, where the kids get to camp out at Davidson College and get to meet their collegiate professors and see what it's like to be a college student. And sometimes what you need is you just need to visualize something in order to actualize it. And so we're happy to provide this opportunity for them. And if you're interested in joining the Cornelius Youth Orchestras, we would love to have you. So visit our website, CorneliusYouthOrchestras.com.
So how can they find out about these concerts?
So on our website, there is a box office. And so you can take a look at our season there. We'll also, if you follow us on our social media pages, at Cornelius Youth Orchestras, that's us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I forget all the different ones there are, but we're on all of them. And you can stay apprised of all of our concerts coming up. But you can visit our website. We have that box office there, and you can get some tickets to come to concerts. And season tickets are available too. Our monthly supporter program, $19 a month, makes a massive impact for our students, and it comes with season tickets.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That really, really is cool. So, where do you go from here? Let's talk about the future. This is a great year. You've taken a major jump in enrollment.
Yes.
Where do we go from here?
We have some exciting news coming out later this semester that we're looking forward to share with everybody. But our vision of growth there's no sunset in sight. We are looking forward to continuing to make this opportunity available to students and families in Lake Norman, but also expanding that opportunity to others. As Andrew said, there's really not another program that's making these opportunities available. I fielded a call from Lincoln County, a music teacher there that was asking us to come and do that. So we're going to respond to those needs. And like I said earlier, it's you can look at it as like, this doesn't exist. There's not an opportunity here. Or you can look at it as, hey, this is the opportunity for us to do that and make a difference in those students' lives. And so we're excited to kind of step up and increase our scope there once more. But stay tuned for more information about that.
Can't wait. My goodness, things are happening at the Cornelius Youth Orchestras as we speak. So, programming, I'm sure, will continue to take a huge jump along the way. And as you said, it's not too late to sign up.
It is not. Come visit our website, CorneliusYouthOrchestras.com. If you click on the Register tab, you can take a look at where you can sign your student up for either an educational class or a performing ensemble.
Well, the future's bright, and I can't wait to get to one of those concerts as we move forward. It's something that we take a lot of pride in terms of your foundation is here in Cornelius.
That's right.
And
that's home.
So proud that our town board was able to step up and support the Cornelius Youth Orchestras again. And we look forward to continuing to do that and help you get the facilities you need
We're so grateful
to run these programs. So it's gonna grow by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
Well, it's been a great day today as we've heard more detail about the Cornelius Youth Orchestras and the great future that they have. And if you will look out to the CorneliusYouthOrchestras.com, you'll learn a lot more. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam. We've had a great show today. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7, WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.